and welcome back. Just a little video here on reeds. I've done 3 of the reed blocks on this Royal Standard, and so I've done the 2 treble side reed blocks, and I've done the 1 bass side reed block which could come out, so that's all fine. Now the 4th reed block is, I'll show you on here, is actually glued in to the bass side. So if I can just point this out, here we go. So what we've got is that's all just part of the bass side here, which is quite common on some of the smaller and perhaps lower end accordions to find that this has happened. So what you mustn't do is try and get this out, because that's actually part of the bass side and you will damage everything. So that just stays in place. And the giveaway is that you can see that the reeds are waxed right into the edge here, which is telling you that that reed block ain't going nowhere. So to get these reeds out, first thing I've done, I've numbered them with my little scratcher, just carefully 1 to 8, so I just know exactly which order to put them back in again. And I've done that on both sides. Now to get these out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip this bass side down so that any wax and stuff will just fall out rather than falling into the holes where the pallets are covering, because I don't want to get any wax into the bass mechanism. So I'm going to have it facing down like this, and when I come to wax them back in again, I'll also have it facing down so that again any wax, if it's running, will run away from the where I don't want it to run. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out the reeds, and so I'm going to use my trusty Swiss Army penknife. I'm just going to very carefully lever these out. So because of I'm going to keep it tipped a little, and they should come out fairly easily like that. And I'll do a little close-up of what they look like. Just try and stop the wax from falling down. Now if I just get in a bit closer, bring that down a touch, so you can see right into the pallets now. So that's why I'm trying to keep it that way down rather than getting all the wax to fall onto the pallets themselves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on along this little line, taking off the pallets, taking off the reeds from the getting my modals worded up here, take off the reeds, and I'll show you when I've just got them all out. So I'll just do that next. Okay, so all the reeds are out, and I'm just going to next is get the wax off, and I will sand it like I normally do with the reed block, but just, I said, keeping it tipping down and just making sure I'm tipping all the bits out. So I'm going to clean up that bit, and the other thing I'm going to do is take all of these reeds, take off the reed valves, clean up the wax, put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing in terms of revolving them. So this is what they look like now, and I'll just go and do this bit and not have to put everyone through watching something they've seen before. So this is what they look like now, and then I'll show you what they look like in about half an hour. I think that'll take me half an hour to get all this done, maybe a bit longer. Okay, see you in a bit. And there we go. So that's all the reeds cleaned and cleaned and revolved. And one thing I did do is on these bigger ones, the valves are quite big, and I just narrowed the width of the valve by about 1 millimetre, just a bit less than 1 millimetre on the underside, just in case there's a risk of that catching on the side of the reed chamber, so I've just narrowed it very, very slightly on the underside, just with a sharp, very sharp knife and a nice ruler, and just taken a bit less in the middle, to just give it a bit more clearance for that valve to move without any risk of it catching on the side of the chamber. So that's what I've done there. So that's all set, that's all good. So next thing, I'm going to get my the reed block in position, and then I'm going to start waxing in the reeds. I'm just going to get myself ready with the brushes and everything, and I'll start a little clip of me waxing in the... Okay, here we go. So I've got my wax nice and heated up, got a nice brush, got my other very fine brush as well. Let's see how this goes. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Just put a little time covering, and then just a little bit off the top. Find the right number 8, and I know which is the outside because I've got the number 8 on it. So this is a bit more fiddly. Well, actually, it's a lot more fiddly, to be quite honest. But there we go. So here we go. I'm just going to run a nice bead of wax. And so, as I said before, really important to get the wax at a nice runny temperature. And there we go. Go across the top here. Being careful not to put too much wax on the actual board itself. And this is just take your time, make it as neat as you possibly can. Right, that's number 8, so I'll have to get number 7 in. She goes. Number 7's in place, so on there. Stop. There. I'm going to get my fine brush, as I did before. Just run that down the middle. Like so. Okay, so those are the first 2 in. I'll now do the rest of them, and I'll turn it over and do the ones on the other side as well, and I'll show you when they're all done. There we go, it's all done. So nicely waxed in, and I can just, that's the bigger ones and the smaller ones. So that's all already. I'm going to leave that for a bit now. I'm not going to do any tuning or anything for probably a day or 2, just get that wax just to cool nicely and settle. And then all the other reed blocks are done, so I've got them 1, 2, free. So there we are, that's all the reeds done, and I'll put those in at some point and give it a play before doing any tuning, just have a little listen. But the next little video is going to be on the bellows. If I just turn the camera around a little bit, do this. There you go, that's a bit better. And so the bellows, the next bit, just get them. And these need a little bit of work. So with these ones, what we got is some patching is going to be needed where some of the bellows, particularly the bellows tip at the corners, has come away, and there's a bit of the bottom end has lost all of its bellows tape on one fold, and also the bellows corners have come off. So I'm just going to, I've got some bellows corners, I've got some bellows tape, and so I'm going to get these looking a lot better. I'm not going to re-tape the whole of these bellows because it's for a kind of a basic introductory accordion like this. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, and so I'm just going to do a nice tidy up job and do a little bit of patching and a bit more tape and a few corners needed, and go from there really. So that'll be the next one, getting these bellows looking a lot nicer. So I hope that was useful, and see you in the next one.